Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Expanse, Season 6, Episode 3. Sorry, I'm reorienting I know, little jarring. The episode is going to be played here instead of here. Not that I needed to explain that, but anyways. Last episode, Christian, I love how, I always start with Christian, because she's just the best. But Christian put Monica on a mission to basically go interview and see the humans, like expose the Belters to the humans that have been affected by this, you know? Not that that may change anything, but it's better than nothing. It's better than what's happening now. So now it's kind of, the tides are kind of shifting in that Earth is going on the offensive approach instead of the defense. So now Christian is really taking action with this whole propaganda thing, if you could even call it that. I mean, yeah, it's political. It's totally not like out of the kindness of her heart that she's doing it. But it's a different approach than, you know, than she has been taking in the beginning of the show. We have seen growth from her character since the beginning of the show. Episode 1, I believe it was, when she was torturing the fucking Belter. And then now with her, one, not wanting to blow up Palace, because civilians were on there, and then the people that did survive ended up becoming terrorists and joining the Free Navy and sparking, you know, war and fighting back. And she knew that this was going to happen. So now she's kind of taking a more conservative approach, and it's cool to see. It's definitely cool to see. She's made too many mistakes at this point to not take that approach. So while I love her as a character, I do admit that she's not perfect. She's human. At the end of the day, she's human. And she, I think, is really feeling the weight of all of the consequences of the actions that she has taken in the past, but also the weight of the pressure that she's feeling now. So we even saw last episode she is floating around in 0G, something that, you know, is kind of metaphorical, I think, you know, something that caused her so much stress, space, the politics of space, everything that's been happening that has to do with space and the expanse. She is now using as like a stress relief, you know, in that the 0G is that metaphor. At least that's how I interpreted that. With everything else, the Rossi crew is, they destroyed the asteroids that the Azure Dragon was kind of leading towards Earth. And I'm like out of breath from I'm like talking really fast trying to make this very concise. That's basically what the Rossi crew has been doing. There's some tension there with Peaches and everything. You know, that's just like an ongoing thing. I think Amos, in terms of his character development, it's really interesting to see him and Naomi kind of butting heads, because I think Clarissa represents this like growth in Amos's character. He has finally found somebody that he, I think, looks to as an equal in terms of their stories. You know, he's a murderer too, but he is redeemed. He's redeemable. And I think that's what he sees in Clarissa. And while in the beginning of the show, he looked to Naomi almost as a mother figure, and with one character even comparing him, you know, I think a character literally said that, you know, he's almost like Naomi's son, like almost like her pet, where he would look up to Naomi. Now he's more of his own person. He doesn't look to anybody for approval or anything like that. He's developed his own sense of what's right and wrong, what's good and bad, and everything else. I think he's really grown as a character, and he's making decisions for himself. Not that he didn't before, but now it's more overt. So yeah. And then we got Laconia. Y'all know what's happening in Laconia. The little girl fed a human, or an earthen Terran, they call, protein bar to the bird, the Laconian bird, and the bird died. So that's a fucking metaphor of, you know, aliens, humans interacting. That's what they're going to have to deal with colonizing these planets in the ring system. So we still don't know what that floating object that is orbiting Laconia is. Hopefully we find out more information this episode. They've really got to start picking up the pace a little bit, because there's only 4 episodes left. So with that being said, I'm going to get into episode 3. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into episode 3.
It's fixed.
What the hell fixed it? Did that thing fix it? What? Did he bring it back to life?
You fixed her. You fixed her. You fixed things.
That can't be something that is good. It's definitely something fishy, something proto-molecule-y. I'm like looking for blue anywhere. It looks fucked up. It's like a zombie bird. Huh? What the hell happened? Oh my god, what happened? I just got full body chills. I have a feeling that the proto-molecule is fucking things up.
Do you know who I am?
Is there a belter who doesn't?
You worked for Anderson Dawes. Why are you working for the man who assassinated him?
I work for the belt.
Where is Marco Inaros? He would not have let us take control of the seat of his government with no resistance whatsoever.
You will encounter no resistance on this station. Take your people and leave.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Sergeant?
Oof.
No munitions, no functioning repair skiffs, only enough food and air for approximately 3 weeks.
Holy shit. Marco doesn't care. Maybe he left them to die and he's gonna frame it as like Earth's fault.
Inaros knew we needed this port to repair and refuel and stage for Jupiter and Saturn, and he turned it into a trap.
Yep. So, it'll be on them if they don't get fed.
The belt will see us once again as the oppressor, and Inaros' power will continue to grow.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's been a while since I used my mods. It's taking longer to flush out of my system than it used to.
Yeah, because it's
fine, really.
destroying her, probably.
Okay.
I used my mods to kill a man. He trained me, stood up for me, and was nothing but good to me.
Everybody on this ship has something they regret, including Amos, I think. We're in good company.
I have to watch.
Yeah, Holden kind of looks like shit. Like, I don't know if that was intentional, or if he's supposed to look stressed and, like, weak. But he looks like shit.
When the Donny got killed, most Martians blamed you and yours for it. Was a time I would have jumped at the chance to haul you all back to Hecate Base and have you vigorously debriefed.
I wouldn't have gone quietly.
That would have been fun too. What else is good on series?
They got decent booze, and all the brothels are union.
Anything other than noodles, bars, and brothels?
I never looked.
Free Navy is in retreat.
You told the people on Ceres that it was our new capital, that we would make it the pride of the belt.
We could never hold Ceres against the Inners. But the people there needed to believe that we could.
Left them barely enough to
We
survive.
left the Inners with a problem that they had to deal with. Tied up their resources and weakened them. We're meant to be out here in the darkness. Never forget what your name is.
I can never tell what's happening in that kid's head, ever. I feel like it sucks because he's definitely emotionally manipulated by Marco.
I quite liked your last report.
I figured that. You approved it.
The pastor has a knack for eliciting sympathy.
Well, my next piece will be better.
Oh, that was her report with Anna.
Tell your Marines to keep a close eye on her. She has a knack for causing trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
She does what she wants.
You should learn to recognize an opportunity when one presents itself. Battle stations!
He's like, yo, my mom is on there.
Weapons to my son.
I Captain.
Yeah, like, let's just give the guns to this person who just murdered their friend, is clearly unhinged.
Somebody's trying hard not to leave any tracks.
Amos,
Ah!
I hope this finds you well. We've been working on ways to improve crop yields for food grown in the belt. It produces a complete digestible protein with micronutrient uptake comparable to unmodified soy.
Give him a second. He'll get around to it.
Give this data to them.
That'd be good for Christian.
That's what Carvonidis was trying to do.
Didn't we come here to shoot these people?
Don't worry, we can edit that out.
Sorry, ma'am.
I'll be right back.
Oh my god!
spin.
Holy shit. That's so sick.
Clean miss. Fuck.
4 more torpedoes incoming. We can't keep this up forever.
We gotta fix them.
In the middle of the fight?
That's the job, Peaches.
Shit.
Everyone brace!
It's so cool though.
No. Let us know if you need to do
No,
that.
they're like,
Just
they're
get those
struggling.
PDCs back. All right, Amos, hang on. Marissa, brace! Miss.
Port. They dodged to port both times. 4 converging and manual PDCs to me.
Copy that.
Wow.
They're down, but they're not out. Time to end them.
Hold your fire.
What? Why?
Marco's better as a prisoner than a martyr.
Holy shit.
Holden.
Fuck.
I will die before I live at the end of your leash.
No, fuck it, we tried. Firing one!
Oh my god.
Direct hit, but no detonation.
He disarmed it?
Granicus is engaged in rescue operations.
They baited us with their bullets.
They were smart.
They were lucky. I want a new pilot as soon as possible.
I fired when you said. What was I supposed to do?
You were supposed to kill the enemy. They're not dead. You failed.
You failed.
Oh shit.
But this is your fault. We didn't need to be here. We didn't need to be in this fight. We didn't need to kill James Holden. Just you wanted to kill the man.
You are relieved of duty! Get off this deck and out of my sight.
Damn, he stood up for him though. Stood up to him. He was not afraid. Kind of made Marco look really bad in front of everybody. Granted, everybody knows that's his son, but still. Now Marco's embarrassed. Good. Now you know how it feels. Idiot.
Bossman, Medina Station is pleased to report that our SRG-6 was just received at Laconia Ring Gate. We will, of course, keep you fully apprised. If this one performs as well as the others, it will be fun.
What? So, I'm going to talk about that last little section there, because I feel like that's a huge thing that just happened. So obviously, the Pella was pursuing the Rocinante, and the Rocinante seemed like they were just out of the fight. They were going to go down, but Bobby took control. Bobby took the reins, and she aimed the fire very cleverly. The Pella dodged it eventually. But then, like, the crowning moment here was when Holden, it was revealed without dialogue that Holden disabled the missile. So I thought that was really telling, because obviously it would not just kill Marco and everybody there, it would also kill Phillip. So I feel like that was a moment of him really seeing the effect and impact that would have on Naomi, and how traumatizing that would be, and how much trauma she already dealt with. This was a very like trauma filled episode, at least for Naomi, and not for Holden, but Holden was there for her talking about her previous trauma. So I feel like in Holden's mind, he didn't want to give more trauma to Naomi, and that's a really good partner. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on, bro, these people are like, to be able to say that you were the one that took down Marco. Granted, he's probably better off as a prisoner rotting away for the rest of his life than dead, because I feel like it would spark more war. You know, he has enough followers at this point that they would just, you know, be so fanatical about it and go for Holden and whatever. It would just spark a lot of shit, but good on Holden for recognizing that, I guess. I'm assuming that that's the reason why he disabled the missile. But yeah, really nice moment between him and Naomi, talking about her PTSD, I assume, from, you know, her little space jump situation that happened last season, and just everything regarding Phillip, everything regarding Marco. She's dealt with a lot of shit in her life, and Holden deals with it in such a good way and just listens to her. It's really, really nice to see, really refreshing. It's not like he's trying to offer solutions. He's just like there for her. He's just there to hear her, and that's really what she needs. I feel like they're very realistic. They balance each other out very well, and I just feel like they're great together. Very realistic, very believable. I love them as a couple. What else do we have to talk about? We also got a little cameo from Prax, which was awesome. He's talking about how there's some type of like nutritional yeast thing that is getting developed that would really benefit both the Belt and Earth. It would benefit the Belters on Ceres Station if Amos got it into the hands of Christian, or Chrissy as he likes to call her. So that would be like win-win situation, you know? That would be, a solution is literally falling into Christian's lap at that point. That would be great. So I feel like that's the reason why they included that little section there. Really cool way to bring Prax back into the plot too, and let us know, you know, he's okay, he's doing good. But also, speaking of different subplots, Laconia, we got to talk about that. So I'm not sure what this little girl's name is. They never really made it explicitly clear, but her brother died this episode, which was really interesting to me because I feel like there's just a lot of, I don't know how he died, really. I mean, it could have been from him going out and playing with his friends. It could have been from a reaction if he like ate something. I feel like they're trying to like make it a point to make a statement that like alien environment and humans, there's going to be complications that happen with that, and exploring a new planet, humans exploring a new planet, interacting with the flora and fauna there. We saw that with the bird, and now we're seeing it on the human end. I do feel like, I'm going to make a prediction, with the bird coming back to life, with that creature, whatever he did, bringing that bird back to life, I feel like the little girl is going to almost offer her brother to the creature and try to bring him back to life. And with the protomolecule, which could be factoring into all this, which could be factoring into the fact that the bird came back to life, I don't even want to know what the brother coming back would even look like, would even mean, the effects that, you know, it would, I don't want to think about it, because we already had to deal with little kids being tested on in the name of the protomolecule, and that would just be pretty scary. But I think that is where the story is heading, because yeah, if we're dealing with this like story that we're not getting a lot of information about the thing that's in space with the protomolecule, not getting a lot of information about that at all, yeah, so I think that's probably what the little girl is going to end up doing. Also, to wrap up my thoughts, a lot of questions, so I don't really have any answers for this, like of what happened at the end with Marco and the Laconian ships, or the Laconian gate, the ship that just went past the Laconian gate. Like, what's up with that? Does that tie into the missing ships that Naomi was investigating? How does it tie into the missing ships that she was investigating? You know, what does the protomolecule have to do with all of this? Because there was a deal struck with, I believe his name is Duarte, or was it Cortazar? I don't know. There was a deal struck in exchange for the protomolecule, them being able to test it, and Marco having control of the ring gate and the ring system. So, I mean, does it all have to do with each other? Is Marco in more control than we think? I wouldn't be surprised. He's a very controlling person. That's like his character. So I would not be surprised. Really satisfying moment when Phillip stood up to him this episode, though. I think Phillip is... his relationship with Marco is complicated because it's very realistic in the fact that You know, we can't just be like, yeah, Phillip, like, go against your father, blah, blah, blah. You have to realize he grew up with his father. He grew up with this propaganda being fed into his brain. He grew up thinking that his mother left him. And it's not going to take a year or two just to, like, de-brainwash your brain. Like, he is the victim of Marco's emotionally abusive behavior. We see that constantly all the time, with Marco hyping him up, saying he loves him, blah, 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 hyping him up when Phillip is doing things that are good for the cause and good for Marco. And then that has a positive reaction in terms of Phillip doing what he wants in the future. We saw that this episode with him being the one to fire the fucking weapons. You know, and then there's those moments of him thinking about it and being like, maybe I don't like my dad. But at the end of the day, like, he's a victim. I think Phillip is a victim, and he plays it very, very realistically. You know, he doesn't like his father in some ways, but at the end of the day, that's his father. And I do believe that he loves his father, but he knows that his father is kind of a psychopath. So maybe I'm reading it wrong, and maybe this entire time he just is going along with Marco. So Marco believes that he is just his little minion almost, and maybe Phillip has a plan, but I don't think it's like that. I think to think that is getting my hopes up that something is going to happen and Phillip is going to do something. I think it's really sad, and it's more realistic in the fact that, you know, if Marco goes down, I think Phillip is going to go down with him, because he's not going to change. And I think the effects of Marco and his brainwashing on Phillip growing up has already taken a toll. Maybe an irreversible toll. But I could be wrong. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm going to get into the next episode. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already. And I will see you guys for episode 4. All right, bye guys.